Well, property taxes are back in the spotlight and shaping up to be a major issue heading into Iowa's 2026 legislative session and midterm elections. Local 5's JD Snover is in studio to break down what's driving this conversation and what potential changes could mean for you.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Stephanie. Governor Kim Reynolds held a roundtable just last week with lawmakers and other local leaders to kickstart discussions on the property tax reform. The immediate goal is relief for the taxpayers, but some officials are also eyeing long-term structural changes. As lawmakers begin preparations to return to the Iowa State Capitol, property taxes are emerging as a top concern. They fund essential services like police, EMS, schools, and hospitals, but rising costs are putting pressure on homeowners.
I can tell you 2 or 3 cases right now where we have a grandmother who's paid their house off, but right now they're on fixed incomes and they're being property taxed out of their home.
A report from the Common Sense Institute says Iowans spend 25% more of their personal income on property taxes than the national average. Since 2000, Iowa's property tax revenue has grown at more than twice the rate of inflation, making it the 11th worst state for homeowning taxpayers.
If revenues for local property taxes grow at more than about 2.3% annually moving forward, according to CSI's analysis, Iowa will always be one of the most burdened property tax states in the country, or in fact, one of the most burdened local tax states in the country.
A recent poll from Iowans for Tax Relief shows nearly 2/3 of voters care about the issue.
There are very few issues in which you get 70% of Iowans agree on anything, but yet here we are with this one.
In the short term, lawmakers are considering caps on annual revenue growth for local governments.
And from that, you can look at other reforms to try and bring it down, but we've got to at least slow down the growth.
And some lawmakers say they're aware of the delicate balance between tax cuts and funding essential services.
There's a way to restructure this whole system while maintaining those services, and that's the key.
So everyone I spoke to does expect some form of property tax reform to pass in the upcoming session. With just over 2 months until lawmakers do convene, the conversation on what that will look like is far from over, Stephanie.